So I got a little conspiracy I just came up with, and I hate to be a conspirator, but if you look it up, Walmart, they are, and I know a lot about Walmart. I work for them, but what I'm saying is they're working with Department of Homeland Security. You can easily look it up, and they're gutting stores for no reason. And you got to ask yourself, why are they doing that to those Walmarts? And you also have to ask yourself, why are we planning to have 300,000 refugees come over here and they all look like soldiers? And the reason why is because in order to have martial law, you can't use our military to implement martial law against its own citizens, because most military guys are patriotic. So the only way to get anybody to attack us and to have martial law is to use those refugees. And first they'll probably put the refugees in those Walmarts and call them sanctuaries, and then they'll arm them just like we did with ISIS. And then all fucking shit will be hitting the fan and all hell will break loose. That's what I think is going on. I mean, there's no other reason to explain why they want to send so many over here. And it's not women. On the Titanic, it was women and children first, right? Well, how come with this refugee crisis, it's men first? You know, and they're coming from a country where they think men's first, or men come before women and children. So you have to ask yourself, why are they sending refugees that are my age? I just saluted that flag. Very beautiful flag. But you gotta ask yourself why they're sending people my age from these places. And it's because they want soldiers to implement martial law. And if you don't believe me, just look up Walmart and their dealings with Homeland Security. Ever since they teamed up with them, they've been shutting Walmarts down all over the place and militarizing them. What's going to end up happening is, at some point the military is going to abandon those posts because they're going to realize what the government's doing, and they're going to want to fight for us. I mean, clearly that's why they want to take away our guns. Clearly. Anyways, do your own research, but also learn how to connect the dots. There's a difference between being smart and being a conspiratist. If you're smart, you'll figure out where the dots connect. And if you are okay with being a sheep, then vote Democrat if you want to be a sheep. But the rest of us, you know, people who support the Second Amendment, we're not stupid, because we know why the Second Amendment was created. And our founding fathers knew that people would use our system against us at some point, because if you can't beat an enemy, what do they say? If you can't beat them, join them. That's what's going on right now. They're joining us, and you have to see it. I mean, isn't it interesting that the liberals want them to come over here, and the whole time they're just not going to say radical Islam. They're just not going to say it, no matter what. But if Christians were killing people because they disbelieved, I'm sure they would not be calling them crusade sympathizers, and they might even call them radical Christians, who knows? But that would be complete hypocrisy, wouldn't it? Either way. Anyways, I'm not a dumbass, and most of you aren't dumbasses either. Even people who disagree with me, it's not really that you're necessarily a dumbass, it's just you're not even willing to even think about it. So that's all I ask, is that you think about it. The media is the fourth branch of government, look it up. So why trust them? Journalists and all that, they're supposed to be the ones reporting on corruption, but they're not. Unless it fits their agenda. I mean, it's all about control. It's all about control. Who's, you know, nobody's going up behind the media and trying to catch them in scandals. When was the last scandal you heard of, by the way, that was implemented by media? When did the media ever get called out on a scandal? I can't even think of one, but we can think of all these politicians that have scandals. And yet there's no scandal against media. They're not perfect. Just like politicians aren't perfect, the media isn't perfect. You know, military, there's scandals with that. Politicians, there's scandals with that. Congress, senators. I mean, there's all these scandals. And it seems like the media, they're so quick to dig up these scandals, but yet you don't hear of any scandals that have to do with the media. You gotta ask yourself, why? Now, the only person that ever seems to call the media out on their bullshit is Trump. Go Trump. This is true. But there is something going on, people. And there's a reason. I mean, there's a point to everything anybody does. Okay? There's a reason why my generation is being brainwashed. It's to keep them stupid. I mean, there's a reason why you don't hear about scandals against the media. Just saluted another one of our beautiful flags. But there's reasons for all this stuff, okay? Nothing happens by accident. Nothing's a coincidence. There's a difference between something happening on accident and something happening by accident. You have to correlate the difference. Most people my age will take their college professor's word at everything because they're nice or something. Just because your college professor's nice doesn't mean that he's not trying to radicalize you. Because I can tell you right now, I dropped out of college just because they wouldn't let me say the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm gonna say it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. None of my peers, none of the media, and these politicians, you'll never stop me. I have converted dozens of Hillary supporters and dozens of Bernie supporters into Trump supporters. This change needs to happen. This movement needs to happen. So if we don't, we're not only going to lose our country to radicals, but we're going to get slaughtered. Okay? Everybody, the reason why nobody ever believed in the martial law theory of, you know, that ever happening, or a lot of people don't, or not enough people don't believe in that, is because nobody on either side really thinks that our military men and servicemen and police officers would ever want to harm the masses. And that is true. Our military men and servicemen and police officers, they're not going to attack their own people. Who the fuck would do that? The only people that do that are people in the Middle East. Okay, this is America. We don't do that shit. Anyways, over and out. Let me know what you think. Like, share, comment.